Welcome back to What Are Team Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the M18 Hellcat. It's a Tier 6 American turreted tank destroyer. It's located on the south spawn of Malinovka and it's under the command of Wazwulf, and he's just suddenly looked at the team list and realised there's no light tanks on his team. Well, there's one way to correct that. He's going to have to act as light tank instead. Pull up his man pants and get into action. Okay, well, he's armed with a 90mm gun, although the M18 Hellcat only actually had a 76mm gun. The 90mm gun's got a slightly longer reload, but it's got a higher alpha, 240 alpha, penetrating 160mm of armor, but it's also got a fairly slow shell velocity of only 853 meters per second. So it's a kind of slow gun. You have to lead your targets if you want to get shots into them. It's also got a fairly long reload, 8.15 seconds, and Wazwulf's got that down to 7.05. He's in the spotting bush and he's spotting the enemy, and he's already found a few. The good thing is he's got binos, which means his view range has gone up quite a bit. 370 meters is the standard view range. Few enemies have been spotted. We'll have to wait for his binos to come back in. This they have, and he's got the camera nets as well, which also helps because it makes it far difficult for the enemy to detect him. Okay, he's spotted a T-34-85M over by that rock, and he's asking for fire. The great thing about doing this job is you pick up loads of stun assists if you're successful. Stun assist? Spotting assist, let's get it right, if you're successful, and you help your teammates to win the game. Now, he decided to have a pop at that Skoda, and he has been detected, so he's okay. He had a pop at him because he was double bushed, so not just the bush that we were sitting in, the Skoda had a bush in front of him, and none of the enemy were watching, so he's okay. He's now spotted a Comet. Oh, and that's a biggie. 754 spotting assist off the Comet, and that Comet's not going to be happy. Okay, M2Y, that's a Dicamax over there. The Dicamax, funnily enough, happens to be his opposite number in this game because he's a tier 6 tank destroyer as well, but he's unfortunately not well suited going over that side of the map, and he could have been in the spotting bush on the other side, but he decided not to. A Panther's now been spotted. Oh, that's a tier 7 German medium. And yes, he's picking up spotting assist. He's now got a patrol GT. So he's got one of those medals. Normally goes to light tanks, and he's got it instead. Now he's decided to sit here in the bush for the moment and just soak up all of the spotting assist that he can get. That Dicamax is moving, but he's out the game. That's good. (2,180 hit points of spotting assist is still a considerable amount, and it's going to earn him a nice amount of credits at the end of the game, even if this is the only damage that he spots. Now, the M18 Hellcat, built during 1943 to 1944, July of 43 to October 44. They built 2,507 of them, and they're still one of the most sought after tank destroyers that are available, that are still around, mainly because they've got a very fast speed. 72 kilometers an hour in the game. It was the fastest tracked vehicle in World War II. It's also much easier to service than the M10, mainly down to the fact that the engine, the R975, is actually mounted on a rack that enables it to be disconnected from the drive and pulled out the back for servicing. And although the Hellcat wasn't as popular amongst the troops, the troops preferred the M10, and there were more of those made, but it wasn't quite as popular, but it was still very good at one-shot kills on the enemy and escaping. And they were all armed with the 76mm gun, the high-velocity gun, but only one of them actually ended up with a 90mm. And that was only for testing. It was the first original designed vehicle. It was designed specifically for this purpose, for killing enemy tanks. Found a budgie. Oh, who's a pretty Polly now? Yep. Yeah, that budgie really shouldn't have popped up like that. He was asking for trouble. M2Y. No, I don't think he's a threat to us at the moment. You can see how big the view range is. Going for the Comet. No, didn't give enough lead there. You've got to look at the distance. He's just outside view range. That guy's being spotted by our tanks now coming down from the hill. And we've also got the VK3002M on the ramp. There's the FV304. There, Arty on the run. Yeah, he didn't give enough lead. Okay, well, Wazwulf's decided he's going to go up front. He can get closer and spot the enemy from the bushes up here. Also, might give him a chance to get some shots on the enemy. He's got to watch out, though. There are some enemy tanks nearby. He did see that budgie earlier, and there's a T-25 too, but he's up next to the woods and he's gone. There's the budgie. He's very close by. He's being spotted by the Comet and the VK at the moment. And Panther. Oh! Ricochets off the turret. Can he go for another one? Auto aim's on, and yes, that's better. 241, which is a high roll. Lead the target. Oh no, he ricocheted off the front of the vehicle this time. He just didn't lead the target. Now this might be a mistake because he's pushing forward. The budgie's still there, and the budgie's just seen him. And he's not loaded. He wasn't pointing his gun in that direction, and the budgie, unfortunately, that auto-aim shot didn't work. And, oh, he got the budgie, but the T-3485M got him. And now the FV304 is firing in, and so is the T-34 again. He needs to get out of there quick. Into the water. Takes a third round from the T-3485, and now he's a one-shot for the enemy team. So, yeah, he's lost a lot of hit points there for no gain. You try to trade rounds with the enemy. You only let the enemy get a shot at you if you can get something back off them. Now, he can spot from this position, and he's found the M2Y. No, don't go up too high. You'll be spotted. And he has been spotted. The M2Y stopped to take a shot, but managed to drop down below the ridge line. But the enemy knows where he is now. And there's the shot coming in from the FV304, the Burt. Yeah, he needs to get out of this position, go round to the gully again, and try and go around the enemy. See if he can get that T-3485M, who's hiding behind one of these rocks. Now, we know which one it is. It's the second one. I think it's the SU-152 behind this rock. Stay amongst these bushes. There he is. Yeah, can you get him? Yes, he can get him. What are you... No, don't drive past. Oh no, he's looking this way. That's why. And there goes the T-3485. Now, what else can you see? There's an SU-152. And there's a Super Hellcat nearby as well. He's exposed himself to the enemy. They can see where he is. Okay, he's auto-aiming on. Not a good idea. The shell velocity is too slow. And the dispersion on the move is actually quite poor, so you need to get stationary to get accurate shots. Yeah, I'd stay away from doing auto aims and try and do it manually. You can take out the SU-152 now. He's a one shot, and he's gone. Okay, use the ridgeline against that Super Hellcat. There he is. Stop the vehicle. Oh, no, he's going, but he still gets him on the move, which is... that's a bit lucky. And now he's got the M2Y. That's the last enemy tank. He can just drive up behind this guy. Misses the first shot. And the M2Y's gone, which means he's successfully carried out the duties of a light tank. Here's the end of battle results, and that was an ace tanker game for Wazwulf in the M18 Hellcat. He got a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle, a patrol duty for being the only one spotting 6 enemy vehicles whilst they were damaged. And yes, he actually managed to get a scout medal as well for spotting at least 9 enemy vehicles. And if you know our channel, that is the Holy Trinity. If you can get a spotter, a patrol duty and a scout, you fulfilled the duties of a light tank. And I think Wazwulf got a bit carried away with himself. I think he thought his M18 was a light tank in that game, but he got an ace tanker for all the spotting he did. He did an excellent job on that. Win 8 was 1,649. He said, no light tanks, no issue, no problem at all. Let's have a look at team scores. Well, he didn't get the high amount of damage, mainly because his duty was just to find the enemy. He didn't have to actually shoot at them. His teammates were doing that with gusto. The Comet got a Confederate and 2,284 hit points. Didn't get 20%, so he didn't get a high caliber. The second highest damage in the game went to the M44 on our team, who was very happy because he got a Confederate as well, and he was hitting a lot of the enemy. We can see here he actually got 8 and 2, so he qualified just for the Confederate. And his win 8 from that battle was 4,052. So Fly Polka owes Wazwulf a pipe because most of the tanks that he was hitting were being spotted by Wazwulf at one time or other. Wazwulf only got 773. It's not a huge amount, but then he wasn't using his gun to actually, or wasn't all of the time using his gun to actually get kills. He was actually just trying to suppress the enemy most of the time. He did, when it came to kills though, he did actually score jointly the highest amount because the Comet only got 2, the M44 got 2, the VK3601H got 2, and so did Wazwulf in that game. And when it came to base XP, yes, he's got the top on that one for sure. 1,252 for Wazwulf, 1,049 for the Comet, who did so well. And between them, they're the only 2 who actually managed to get over 1,000 base in the game. The next highest scorer being the VK3601H, who only got 814. Let's have a look at the detail. He fired 13 rounds of 90mm ammunition, got 7 direct hits on the enemy and 4 penetrations. He would have had more, but I think he was having a bit of trouble trying to lead the target. And he was a bit unlucky with that Panther as well, because 2 rounds bounced off the guy's armour, off his turret, one off his turret and one off the front of his vehicle. And yes, that must have been a bit annoying. And as well, just missing out, not giving enough lead on the Bert, the FB304, who was running away as fast as he could. But that was a bit awkward. He earned 773 hit points of damage, of which 485 were at more than 300 meters. So you can see most of the damage was done at long range. He received 3 hits from the enemy, 3 penetrations. In fact, all 3 pens came from the enemy T-3485M. And if he'd stopped in the bushes, as I suggested when he was going down the gully, he could have taken that guy out and got revenge on him. But instead, he actually continued along the gully to try and get to the riverside and then pop up on the ridgeline there and see what he could see about the enemy. He did receive 1 hit by way of splash damage, yes, because the enemy worked out where he was and they were firing rounds at him as well. The Bert. 9 enemy vehicles were spotted, 3 enemy vehicles were damaged, 2 killed, and 4,586 hit points of spotting assist, and that's what contributed to his ace tanker. He earned 44,537 credits on a premium count, and after repair, ammunition, respawn, and consumables, he took away a profit of 34,164 credits, 1,878 XP times 2 for the first victory, 3,756 experience points altogether. I suppose the one thing I would say about the M18 Hellcat is the turret traverse is a bit slow. So if you're trying to get shots on the enemy, it tends to be better to try and line up the turret on the target before you actually drive in front of them. That shot, that bit of a mix-up with the budgie, his first shot missed because he actually auto-aimed onto the target, and if he'd actually aimed it into the target, he could have actually hit a weak spot, maybe even just going straight through the rear of the tank and taking out his engine, and he probably would have got a kill first time. But he moved too far forward out of those bushes, and that gave the T-3485M 3 clear shots into him and actually made him a one-shot. But luckily, Wazwulf did survive. He managed to take out that enemy Super Hellcat on the move, which is very, very difficult when you've got such a slow shell velocity. And of course, he did get a lot of spotting in that game, so I'm sure he's very happy about that. But the M18 Hellcat's probably not the best tank to use as a light tank substitute. But Wazwulf seems to enjoy it, so well done to him. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.